there, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video, obviously not blues. However, strumming and keeping time on your guitar and playing chords, it's one of the things that we as guitar players probably do more than anything else. I mean, a lot of the reason that we play guitar is, we want to accompany somebody singing, or we want to play songs. We want to do these things, and strumming is required. So I thought we'd take a little bit of a break. I do actually have a course called Strumming and Rhythm Mastery, and it's all about this type of strumming stuff. It's not like it's removed from blues. It's just something that you've got to be able to do. So what I did is I chose 4 common, I'll say, pop music chords. Good old G, right? If you're not familiar with this G, you might know what I call cowboy G, open G. This is more of a pop and rock version of G. So I've got my 3rd and 4th fingers at the 3rd fret of the 2nd and the 1st string. My middle finger, of course, is playing the G down on the 6th string. My first finger is playing the B on the 5th string, 2nd fret. That gives me my G. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take those 2 fingers, the 1st and 2nd, and I'm just going to move them up a string. And that's going to give me what's called a Cadd9. That's the official name of that chord. It's got a root, a 3rd, a 5th, and a 9th, and another 5th. You can have it with your pinky or without. That's 2 different ways to play it. You can have the open string on top. But in our case, because we're going from the G to the Cadd9, it makes a lot of sense. So you'll notice that those 2 fingers don't have to move. All right, now here's the next kind of cool thing. I'm going to take these 2 fingers and I'm going to switch places, and I'm going to move them down a fret. And I'm going to get an E7. So now my first finger is at the B on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. My 3rd finger, middle finger there, sorry, is on the E, the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So I've got G, Cadd9, E7. Notice my pinky and my 3rd finger haven't moved yet. Now, my 3rd finger is not going to move, but I'm going to lift up my pinky to go to a D. Regular old open position D. Okay, so first open D, 1st finger, obviously 2nd fret, A on the 3rd string. My middle finger is playing the F sharp at the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So I have G, Cadd9, E7, and D. When I strum, I'm thinking about 4 beats. 1 and 2 and okay, that's not 4 beats, that's 2 beats. 1 and 2 and this is what I call a double time strum. It breaks down into 16th notes. But what I really just want you to get used to is counting it in 8th notes, but getting used to moving your arm. Your arm will very much keep time for you if you let it. So 1 and 2, and notice on those first couple, I'm just playing some of the lower strings. So 1 and 2 and now what I'm going to do here is 1 and 2 and 3. I'm not going to hit anything. And I'm going to hit on my way back up. And so 1 and 2 and miss. And 4 and so 1. So on 4 and I'm getting all of them, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'll just switch to the Cadd9. Now my middle finger is going to mute out the 6th string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm going to switch to the E7. 1, oops, sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and And I'm gonna go to the D. Now when I grab the D, my thumb's gonna come over the top to mute the low E string. If I hit the A string, it's not actually totally wrong. There is an A note in this chord. So while I'm gonna aim for the 4th string and try to really get it right, if I accidentally hit the 5th string, not that big of a deal. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, so let's put it all together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 of course, if you were so inclined, you could play it around and around. So when you get to the end, just start over. Now there's one thing that I really do want to point out. My foot tapping is on the downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Be careful. It's not 8 beats. It's not 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If you do that, you're gonna get a different feel. It's not something I can demonstrate because it's almost impossible for me to play it wrong for you. But it's a very common mistake that I see. You have to be cognizant of the fact that the downbeat is where you say the numbers. So again, if you're counting out loud, you can't get it wrong. If you don't count out loud, you could very easily get this wrong. So try and tap your foot or nod your head or rock your body or do something to indicate the downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now if you prefer 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1. Some people are more comfortable saying something for every single count. You don't have to. It's more reliable, I'll say. Taking away the E and like that almost is skipping a step. So if you really struggle with it, you may want to go ahead and add the E and the so it's 1 E and right? 1 E and Make sure the arm moves. As long as you're making sure that the arm moves, if you're counting out loud, you make sure the arm moves, you make sure that you're, stepping or rocking or doing something on the downbeats. If you do those 3 things, and then add in a chord with it, you kind of can't get it wrong. If you neglect any of those things, I kind of run a little checklist in my head with every beat. Like 1, okay, that means my foot's got to go down because it's 1, my arm's got to go down, I'm supposed to strike the strings and say 1. So like there's this whole little checklist that I go through. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it's slow. It will not always be that way. In fact, you'll get good at it fairly quickly. Take the time now to play it really slow and it'll sound much better and very quickly. It really won't take very long. It'll surprise you. A few weeks down the road, you can play that comfortably, okay? So, hopefully that'll give you something fun to play around with. I know, like I said, this is a different kind of a lesson. It's a very, very important skill just for playing the guitar in general. So I hope you'll take it to heart and practice it. As always, I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.